Hey, how's it going? Glad to see you here today. We're getting some new stuff done to the knuckle duster finally. I picked up this scoop. I need to have my valve covers polished now because this scoop is shiny. But yeah, this is a old Edelbrock scoop. I don't remember when they made them. I think it was maybe the mid 80s. And they didn't sell a lot of them. So it makes them really hard to find, but they match the valve covers. And then I did my purple treatment on it. So yeah, we're back on the knuckle duster. Got some things we're gonna be trying out this season. I've got, you can see last video on the knuckle duster, I've got my new gearbox in down there. And something about the brakes just doesn't feel right to me. So we're gonna change out this master cylinder, the brakes. I'm gonna go through everything with the brakes. But I have to get a front end alignment. And I think, let's see, we can get back here. Maybe kneel down. Oh, old man noises. Thinking about cranking up torsion bars about another inch. I think that would help. Because I like the rake, but it's a bit much. And if you hear something in the background, I'm actually listening to Dallas's Tech Talk Live in the background. But hopefully we're not picking up too much of that. But yeah, I've got a new master cylinder for it. Let's go over here. Oh yeah, my new steering wheel wall at the shop. I picked up that guy right there. I think it ought to be pretty nice. It's shiny too. You know, I like shiny. But I do have a comparison. I'm going to do a comparison here in this video with the old nasty ugly Dakota master cylinder, the weight. So I have my scales here. It's my scale. And I've got this master cylinder. And once we take this one off, this cast iron one off, because that chrome one is aluminum. Once we take the cast iron one off, I'm going to weigh it. My guess would be that the master cylinder, the Dakota master cylinder, will weigh the least, but look the but look the worst. I think that one's going to weigh the most because it's cast iron, and I think that chrome one that I got is going to be in the middle, but look really good. And I don't know. I mean, look at what I built so far. I go through where I want to go fast, but I also got to look good. And people can say what they want about that. I just think it's got to look good and go fast. So yeah, that's going to be this video. I'm going to change out that master cylinder. Work on doing some new brake lines because I don't like the way those look. They're all ugly and bent up weird. And I've got some products, but that master cylinder, I'll be showing you the something I'm going to start doing is I will put up the Jegs ad for that master cylinder. Any other tools that I use putting all this together. If I got them off of Amazon or whatever, it's where I like to buy tools. I will put up the links, or not the links, but the actual web page with them on it. So if anybody wants to get this stuff. So yeah, let's do that. We'll get started. Let's have some fun. All right, here we are. I have my scale here. Turn it on. Okay, see we're at 0. We're all here. I touch it. Ooh, ooh. Okay. Now, Old crusty Dakota. It's missing the caps, which I don't think those would weigh a whole lot. But we're going to check the weight on this. 2 pounds exactly. Oh, wait. If you've got a Dakota, you're going to need one of these. Or if you don't, if you've got a regular muscle car to put a Dakota on, you're going to need this adapter here. So you might not need that piece, but okay. 2.6 pounds for all of it. And that weighs 0.8. Or maybe 1 pound exactly. Or 0.6. Whatever. Now, my cool Jegs master cylinder that I plan on running. Oh, let's take the fitting out. We don't want to add any weight to it, which, yeah, like that really would. But yeah, I got this from Jegs. Can't remember how much it is. I'll just put the page up for it right here. And now, $4.1 pounds. So we're looking at about 2 pounds different between this ugly son of a bitch and the cool son of a bitch. Now, here is the factory Mopar master cylinder. Oh, wait, we got to take this off because that does not count. 6.6 pounds. 6.6 pounds. It did weigh 8 pounds, but I took all the fluid out of it because these don't have fluid in them. That one doesn't have fluid in it. They're all dry. So let's see, you've got about 2 pounds different. You'll be saving 4 pounds of going like this, but being ugly as crap. Which this is all in. This is all in what you want, what you like. This is the one I'm going with, where you're saving 2 pounds over the original. But it's just so sexy. And then if you want to keep your car all original and pretty looking, you go with the heavy piece of crap. All of these, I am pretty sure, will all work the same. From what I understand, I got the 1-inch bore. You can get an inch and an eighth, but for everything I was told, the 1-inch bore is what you want with manual brakes. I mean, that's probably a 1-inch bore. That's probably a 3/4 or even smaller bore. But yeah, there's what we got so far. Now we're going to work on putting this one into there. All right. Well, here's what we got. Look how shiny that is. Not in the best light right here, but man, that looks better than the old one. We got the scoop going into the valve covers, which I'm going to get polished. Going into the new master cylinder. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Let's see what we can do about getting a little bit better light on that. All right, let's see. Yeah, that lighting's a little bit better. Yeah, I really like the whole look of that. Now, when you buy this, it's got chrome button head caps on it, but I put these on. Went to the hardware store and got me some cap screws. And I actually put a coat of paint on the cap screws because when you don't paint cap screws, that's what they end up looking like. So the best thing to do is put a coat of paint on them and don't cram them down where you're chipping the paint. Yeah, I'm happy with that. As long as it works good too, it's got to work good. Now I also think with this, I was always taught that, first thing I was always taught is that the front reservoir feeds the back and the back reservoir feeds the front. Okay, on every one that I've ever seen. But this one is different. Because, here I can show you on these other ones here. You can see the front reservoir is smaller on this than the back. So the back would feed the front brakes because it's the bigger reservoir. Same with this one. The front reservoir is smaller, so the small reservoir feeds the back brakes and the big reservoir feeds the front brakes. On this particular master cylinder, all you gotta do is just touch it a little bit and it gets fingerprints on it. Gotta keep a rag with me all the time. Your front reservoir is bigger, your back reservoir is smaller, so in my mind, front reservoir on these would feed front brakes, back reservoir would feed back. If I'm wrong, somebody say something, but that's the way I'm hooking it up, so nobody will see this video before this is all done anyway. But yes, that is the way I've always learned. The bigger reservoir feeds the front brakes and the smaller one feeds the back. All right, we'll do a little bit more to this here in a minute, and I got some cool tools to show you. Well, this part of the video is going to be the second part, and that last part was filmed quite a while ago. Here, let's just look at the car while I talk. The last part was filmed probably before July, probably around June sometime. No, actually, maybe even before that. It was filmed quite a while ago. But we had some incidents happen. Some different things happen that, yeah, delayed me. Let's just say that 2025 sucks. This whole year sucks. But, so I had, after that, after I'd filmed that stuff, I had gotten the parts and all kinds of other stuff, and I decided the car wasn't running right, so I decided to go nuclear on it. The brakes and everything, the steering and the brakes, you guys have seen, I started on. Well, there's the master cylinder all plumbed up. I still have one brake line, that one, to the rear brakes to run. I've got the proportioning valve in there, all this other stuff I'll talk to you about in a little bit. But on to the story. I had all kinds of union stuff happen in May, and I'm a shop steward, and I was part of the collective bargaining committee, and we fought like hell for a couple of months just to get a contract, and finally got that done. Then, see this engine here? That header doesn't belong on it, but that is for that van back there. I was leaving here one night in that van and hit a puddle, big puddle, but I didn't know it was as deep as it was, and it sucked water up into the engine, hydro-locked the engine. It's junk. So we have to do that. That set me back, coming up with money for that engine and everything else. And then it was getting close to no name time. And I decided, all right, I'm getting this car ready. And it didn't like the way it starts. It took cranks forever to start. So I talked to my buddy Jed, and he had an MSD box for sale. Well, I bought that off of him, bought a new coil, and I decided I'm going to fix any ground issues, so I bought these boxes here from Amazon, which they're really neat. Let me get some of my stuff out of the way here. I got my jumper wire hooked up. I bought these boxes from Amazon to run. That runs to the starter solenoid. This is my hot wire, main wire for the car. All my other hot wires, instead of stacking them all up on the starter solenoid, I did this. And I like this. I did the same thing with grounds. I ran a ground from the back of the car all the way to the front. And then I have a box here to hook up all my grounds on. I'm gonna run, I think I'm gonna run an engine ground. No, I have an engine ground. So I'm grounded to the engine, and then over there to the chassis. And I've got a ground wire to the chassis straight off the battery, along with this big sumbitch. All right, so we were getting all this done. We went through the carburetors, cleaned them out. They were a little gummy, you know, from sitting and age. I still need to clean them up better, but we did that. I put on a new harmonic balancer, SFI approved harmonic balancer. What else did we do? Oh, the car now has green bearings in the back, in the rear axle. I have green bearings, and then I have girdles for the rear U-joint. All that's on. The day we got this thing running was probably, I want to say, 2 or 3 weeks before no name. We got this thing to fired right up. And it was in the morning, because when it's hot here, I like to come in the morning, do work, go home during the heat of the day, and then come back at night and do work. So that's what I was doing. We got this thing fired up, me and my dad, and I was going to come back that night and start tuning on it. We were going to start tuning on it the next day. Well, I go home, take a nap, and wake up, and my chest is on fire. It felt like my lungs were sunburnt on the inside. It was so bad. And then all of a sudden, that pain started going centralized in my chest. And it wasn't going away. It wasn't getting any better. So I called the ambulance. Screw it, you know. Ended up, I had a heart attack. I had one artery completely blocked running to my heart, and 2 others that were 50% blocked. They put a stent in the one artery, and the other 2 are, they said we could take care of that with medication and such. So needless to say, I didn't make it to the No Name Nationals with the car. I was there. I had a great time, but the car was not there. 2025 was just not a good year. 2026, on the other hand, I am going to force it to be a good year. I don't care what goes wrong. I'm going to push through. I'm going to keep going on this car, because in 2026, this car is going to show up with a vengeance. At No Name Nationals, I am going to enter this car in the Triple Crown. It will probably not look like this. It's probably going to have a little different configuration, because I kind of saw and I have an idea in my head of what it's going to take to win the Triple Crown next year, because you're going to have a lot more competition. That race seemed to be really one of the standouts of No Name this year. And I think it's going to be around for a while. So anybody else out there, I'm just telling you right now, anybody else out there building a Triple Crown car, you better bring your A game, because I'm bringing my A game with this. I will spend the time, I will spend the money, I will do whatever I have to do. I am bringing this car to win. People can laugh at me, whatever you want, but I don't care. That's what I'm doing, and I'm going to show people. All right, anyway, back to the other things I've done to the car. Oh, I haven't shown, I do have a hood for the car now. It's leaning over, kind of leaned over off the sawhorses, but that's going to be on the car. I have to cut out for the scoop. You know, the scoop I showed earlier, my awesome rare Edelbrock scoop. But the car will have a hood on it this year. I've got to cut those, and I've got to paint it, which is just going to be spray painted. I don't give a shit. What do you guys think of this? I think it looks better than the hole that was there. Now, it's not functional at all. In fact, I got it so tight you can't really even take it off, but it's just there to cover the hole. I figured that would be, it'd just make it look a little nicer. And then I did this. I picked this steering wheel up off of Marketplace. The guy had this steering wheel and another one that's over there on the wall. And he wanted, I think, $40 for both of them. So I said, what the hell? And then I was going to just leave this as a wall hanger. But I was joking around with Jed in Discord one night, and he said, oh, you ought to put that on the car. And I put it on here, and I really hope it passes tech. I don't see why it won't. But, yeah. Certain things you gotta, like this steering wheel may be heavier than any other steering wheel out there, but it's cool. I like it. It's become part of the car now. So, yeah, that's staying as long as it'll pass tech. If not, I'm going to bring another steering wheel. I have a few. I'll just bring another steering wheel with me. But now my future plans, over the winter, I'm going to be doing a lot of work. But I don't like, see, we even bought a box. I even bought a box to put the starter solenoid in, to where it doesn't stick out. But I started looking, and all these boxes and all these wires, no matter how good I loom them up, I don't like it. I want it to be cleaner. So what I'm thinking about doing is redoing a lot of this and putting a box, maybe for now, just putting a box right here on the floor. Getting another, you know, like an electrical box, a big plastic electrical box. And just putting it here on the floor where all of my electronics, everything, I'll even move some of the stuff from the back here. I'll even move some of this stuff. Let's see if we can get a good look at it. My solenoid for the switch. I may even move all of this into that box to where I just have a battery back here. Plus, I think it would help to move this out of the way when I put my roll bar in, because I think I'm going to, if I'm gonna run as fast as what it takes to win Triple Crown this year, to run at my local NHRA track, I'm gonna need a roll bar. I have a roll bar. I just have to put it in. So that's pretty much all. Oh, and I actually have proper, I did do this. I got a set of proper skinnies for the front of the car. Here, let me I'll turn the wheel out to show you. And you know, on the drag lights, I'm kind of turned into a drag light guy. So yeah, it's a set of proper skinnies on the car. Jed sold me the wheels, and Dennis donated those tires. I'm gonna have those checked out. I may actually have to replace those. I'm not sure. I think they'll be all right for one more season. And maybe not though, I don't know. But yeah, I think that's everything that I've done to the car up until, what is this, almost the third weekend? Well, no, this is the second weekend in October. I don't know the date. I'm not going to look it up. But yeah, so that's the knuckle duster update. Now, kind of on a personal level, I just want to talk to you guys. This heart attack scare really kind of lit a fire under my ass. I've been very lax on YouTube the last couple of years. I haven't hardly put out any videos. That's gonna change. I've got projects coming to the channel. I've got 2 projects coming in. I'm gonna keep, I've started already doing my lives Saturday night, usually around 8:30 p.m. is when I start Central Time. And look, I'm begging you guys, if you get any kind of chest pain and it just doesn't feel right, man, do what I did and just suck it up. Don't be tough. Suck it up. Call the ambulance. They're gonna take care of you. Yeah, that lighting sucked, I guess. But yeah, just please do it, man, because we all need to stay on this earth as long as we can and have fun with our cars, have fun with our friends. That's what it's really all about. Oh, I actually have one other thing to tell you. One good thing that happened in 2025. I got this. It's a 2019 Colorado. And I actually think I'm going to be doing some stuff on the channel on it. They may not be really popular, but it was a work truck edition, so hence the ugly wheels. First thing's going to go probably. But the story behind this is my dad, that's 77 years old, still goes into work every day, and he works at this waterproofing company. And the mechanic there, this was one of their fleet vehicles. And the mechanic there swore up and down this had a blown head gasket. So I offered him $1,500 for it. Because I figure, even if it was a blown head gasket, $1,500, I'd still come out ahead and have a nice little truck to run back and forth to work in. Because I do have like a 45-minute commute to work every day. Well, come to find out, there's nothing wrong with this. Nothing. I've driven it. I've probably put 300, 400 miles on this thing since I've gotten it. And the temperature doesn't do anything. They were complaining because the temperature gauge would move up a little high and then go back, and move up a little high and go back. From what I understand, that's air in the system. I'm going to fix that, but still, I'm driving it now for $1,500. So I figure I could do some fancy stuff to it. Actually, what I want to do is lower it, get a wrap on it of some kind, and change the wheels. And then maybe mess with the audio system, just so it's cool. Because, you know, at my age, there's no reason to not drive something cool when you can. But yeah, so, you know, thanks everybody for clicking on this video. I know it's going to be kind of longer than my normal videos, but just wanted to explain what was going on and everything. And, you know, like I always say, like, share, subscribe. If not, I don't give up.